Mr. McAfee, welcome back to the show, man. How you been?
I've been great. Thank you very much.
So lots have changed since we spoke last time. That's
Has it not, my friend? Has it
yeah,
not?
that's an understatement, man. Holy shit, man. What's your take on all this? What do you think's happening?
I think it's a government grab for power over the people, pure and simple. I
Yeah,
think it started, and I think a lot of this was actually orchestrated by China. Now, they did not build this virus. It's a strain of the coronavirus. Coronavirus has thousands of strains. It's been around for 5,000 years. The Chinese, nor anyone, created this virus. Um, it seems to be way less deadly now than the flu. That's what Stanford is saying. Oxford University has said exactly the same thing. And I expect Cambridge, MIT, and Johns Hopkins very soon to say the same thing. We've been bamboozled. However, I think China was extraordinarily clever in admitting, confessing to the world. Whoops. Oh my God, we have to tell you the truth. Some virus broke out in Wuhan, and it's deadly. We're so sorry. Now, what did they do? They locked down two cities, 2% of the Chinese population, and let everybody else do anything they damn well pleased. All right. Meanwhile, the press going, well, fuck me. This is not an opportunity. Goes, oh, this is horrible. Staggering numbers are going to die. Well, how staggering is that? 250,000 worldwide. If you have any sense of math whatsoever, you go, staggering? It's a nothing. 7.8 billion people in the world. So you're telling me that one person out of 100,000 who dies is staggering numbers? The flu kills 5 times as many. And what about diarrhea? How many people do you think die from diarrhea, pathogenic, spread by viral contact by touching another person? 3 million fucking people every year. No, this is not staggering at all. Yet the press that doesn't go, listen, this is killing 1 out of 100,000 people. And when it started, it was 1 out of 5 million people. Staggering numbers, they go. Horrific. Instead of going, oh, people, this is going to kill 1 out of 1 million people. You would go, are you shitting me? No. So they use these raw numbers and thinking that people are not going to think. And unfortunately, people don't think. They don't check things for themselves. So anyway, now, what happened in world governments, like in America, one day Donald Trump is going, listen, my advisors say this is not a big deal. And it's not. The very next day, he's going, oh, this is terrible. Why? Because the press trashed him, going, are you crazy? This is staggering. 5,000 people have already died. But governments like the U.S. finally go, now, wait a minute, this is definitely to our advantage. Like in America, Congress passed a $2.2 trillion bill, bailout of what? In which, among other things, the FBI was given emergency powers in a state of emergency to be declared by the party in power, obviously, the president of whatever party, and the FBI reports to that party in power. In an emergency declared by who? The party in power. The FBI can now arrest anybody without a court order, without any sort of charges, and keep them indefinitely. What does that mean? For the rest of your life, if they choose? Now, you tell me that is not a massive power grab. Power from whom? From the people. So that's as I see it. I know for a fact coronavirus is a nothing. Why does New York have 300 times the death rate of any other large city on this planet? It might have something to do with if you are diagnosing a patient with an LRTI, a lower respiratory tract infection, which means it could be the flu, could be tuberculosis, could be pneumonia, it could be allergies, it could be any number of 200 or 300 things, including coronavirus. If you put down pneumonia or the flu, what do you get? Nothing. If you put down coronavirus, what do you get? $39,000 for the stroke of a fucking pen. for 5 seconds of work, $39,000. Now, I'm not saying that that would motivate anybody to put down COVID-19, but please wake the fuck up, people. You know that's exactly why New York has the greatest rate of death on the planet by a factor of 300. That's not statistically possible, people. So, anyway, I could go on forever. I will not. I'm sure you have more important things to ask me.
No, but you hit something really important. I said this before. The Fed right now is bailing out states and bailing out everybody. So the incentive is let's propagate the numbers as much as we can, make everything.
Yeah, make it look terrible so that we will accept whatever draconian laws you want to pass. Do you understand? People, don't take this lying down. Do you know, you have now, listen, more than any time in human history as a citizen, you have more power than the government. What is that power? Your voice. I mean, if you have 2 followers, that's 2 people that you can scream out, this is bullshit. So do it. Use the fucking power that you have, folks. Go onto your social media and say, this is bullshit, people. Wake the fuck up. And what will happen? Hopefully, I mean, unlike other, quote, revolutions where, like in the French Revolution, the Russian Revolution, they all start from the same reason. Government pushes so hard on you that there's nowhere to push. And then you push back. You don't have to do that in the streets with guns and sticks and pitchforks anymore. You can do that with your voice. Social media has given you a power greater than any weapon on this planet, greater than guns, bombs, planes, nuclear missiles. It's your voice. Fucking use it. Good God, you have the most powerful weapon in the world and you're pissed? Well, say so. Don't just sit there and go, oh, what do I do? What do? Use your fucking voice, people. Please. I beg you. Sorry. I do not mean.
Well, I have 2 things about this, though.
Yes.
Number one is you mentioned use your voice, which I concur 100%. But what we're seeing today is Silicon Valley tech giants censoring everybody. For example, the president, Susan, whatever her last name is on YouTube's like, if you don't correspond with what the WHO, World Health Organization states, we will ban you from YouTube. And you're seeing all this censorship happening. They're just completely shadow.
You know why?
Yeah.
You know why? It's only a few people like Elon Musk, John McAfee, that are out there going, I don't give a shit. Listen, I lost 35,000 users in less than a week because my voice was an unpopular voice. And people, they scorned me, called me an idiot, stupid old man. I don't give a shit. Call me what you want. They're just words. I'm telling the truth as I see it, people, and I will not stop. If you all do the same, what are you going to do? Is Twitter going to turn its user base into 0 number of users? No. It's still a fucking business, people. No. Does it matter that Alex Jones has been booted off of everything and many, many others? No. If we all as one, this is the power, not just against the government, people, but against those idiots in power in organizations, corporations, social media giants that are beholden to the government. They are way more beholden to their user base. Please understand this. And if we all as one go, no fucking censorship, and this is the truth, what do you think they're going to do? Will they bow to the government or to us? Us. In all cases, when the people rise up as one, with one voice, one heart, one mind, we are invincible. You doubt that? Who won every fucking revolution? Not civil war now, it's a revolution. When the people go, had enough. In France, where the aristocracy was so out of touch, when the people were starving, and they went to the queen and said, hey, the people are demanding bread. Well, give them bread. We have no bread, Your Majesty. Well, let them eat cake. Seriously, that was the answer. And that was the thing that caused the people to rise up going, what? Are you shitting me? They'll give us cake. We don't have cake either. It's all made from flour, for fuck's sake. And our leadership today is so out of touch with us, the people. It is no different if we, with one voice, say, no more, no more, people, no more. That's all it takes. And do you think that Twitter and Facebook are going to ban every single user they have? No, we need courage. What happens is governments, people in power, corporations, take the leaders and crucify them. Alex Jones, I'll be next. Because I refuse to shut up. Take the people in power as an example to the rank and file. Well, listen, if I go down, don't you go down. My going down is merely a scare tactic to keep you from using your voice as people. The reason I'm willing to go down is because I truly believe that if we do not speak out and stop this madness, America, as a nation of free people, will become America, the police state. And if you think that's not already happening, please God, look at the hundreds of videos on social media of police beating people because of not obeying social distancing. Well, you tell me, you show me a single law on the books anywhere in this country that says it is illegal to hug someone on the fucking street.
This is really a kid what happened in East and Western Germany back in the day.
Yeah, well, not only that, my friend, the police are not obeying social distancing. I just watched a video in Indiana of hundreds of police. Whoops, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
I can't. Hundreds of police, shoulder to shoulder, trying to stop a demonstration of people who were all crowding together, yelling in unison, no more. So it's not a legal thing. Our system of justice, our legal system has evaporated due to this. How? Show me how legally police can arrest you for a law that does not exist. No. And they go, well, emergency powers. You show me in the Constitution where you can have emergency powers that violate all of the clauses of the Constitution. No. Our founders were not that stupid, people. And you show me a single state, county, or district in which there is a law saying, no, you must stay 3 feet from people. And you show me in their Constitution where it's okay to just manufacture a law out of the thin air because might be a problem coming. No. Our system of justice has been overruled by fear. Stop, people, else you will end up as slaves.
Have you seen though anything that surprised you though in these turn of events lately, like in a beneficial way or some positive light?
Yes, yeah, I have seen people standing up for their rights. That's very beneficial. I've seen people getting angry where, good God, in Chicago, there's a video just this morning of the police beating a man because he refused to step away from another person. And everybody's going, wait, he did nothing. Revolution is going to come. And listen, we don't want revolution like that where we're in the street with our pitchforks and guns and baseball bats. No, we need a revolution where using our voice, we topple this insanity that is about to drown all of us.
Changing gears, what's the Fed? You mentioned 2 trillion. They're now north of 7.5 trillion. They've printed. They're bailing out states. They've bought all the. Yeah, think about that. They're paying off the states or buying them out. I can't even think of what off balance sheets they've been doing, but they set up a SPV to buy all the junk bonds. So basically, I don't know, we're talking about north of $10 trillion of liquidity being printed into the market. We see 5 of the top S&P companies own more than 88% of total market cap on the S&P and Dow. Like, yes. To me, the writing's on the wall, though. This is completely fucked.
Well, it looks like it was designed by someone going, how can we take over the world? And somebody goes, oh, here's a great opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I don't really
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I go by incentive, right? So absolute.
Well, me too. Who benefits? Well,
Who
clearly
benefits,
the mainstream media. The mainstream media is the greatest beneficiary so far. Well, let's look. What happened before lockdown? Well, Monday mornings we get up, we eat breakfast, we commute to work, we spend 8 hours or 9 hours, including lunch at work. We commute home, have dinner. That's 10, 12 hours a day, not watching TV. On weekends, come home, we go out partying maybe. Have a date, fuck somebody, go partying on Saturday, take our kids and family to the park. So what happens now? 24 hours a day, we're always glued to our TV. Why? We can't get out of the fucking house. So what is the true value of any media channel? The number of eyeballs that are glued and the amount of time those eyeballs spend. They have increased by a factor of 10 their fundamental value. And when lockdown is over, because people habituate, you're used to watching this, you're going to miss it. You're going to, at lunch, find, hey, who's got a TV? We can watch Fox News. Seriously? So they have benefited the greatest. Now, the media come to, oh, we're losing money. Well, of course you are for now. What you're doing is spending money on what we would call research and development or product development, knowing that in 2 months you're going to be the richest motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah.
They benefited. Who else benefited? Well, China. Duh. China goes, well, we're locking down. What they lock down? 2 cities. 4% of their entire population. For the 96% said, go about your business. Now, the GNP, the GDP, however you want to slice this pie of every country in the world, has dropped between 5 and 15%, with the exception of China, which has increased by 5%. So while we are locked in, producing nothing, servicing nothing, creating nothing, China is producing bombs and guns and tanks and cars. They won. And governments like America, they won. They've now controlled the population. The FBI has the ability to lock your ass up for no reason whatsoever indefinitely. So no, one of those 3 people might be responsible, or maybe all 3 in collusion, or maybe one and then the others.
I don't think it's a collusion. I think we're heading.
I don't think it is either. I think it's simply China goes, this is going to be in our benefit to shut the rest of the world down.
Yeah.
Knowing that the media will support that.
Well, data just came out showing well, we already know this. It's funny when people argue, well, we don't know for sure it came from the laboratory. Use some fucking common sense. What the fuck? It came from the laboratory. China knew about it. They wanted to conserve all the medical supplies for themselves, and they waited out and used this as an opportunity for them to benefit.
Well, listen, first of all, the virus has done no damage. It's killed 250,000 people. People go, oh, staggering. Staggering my fucking ass. We have 7.8 billion. It's killed 1 out of 100,000 people. The flu kills 5 times as much. People die. And how many people do you think die from pathogenic diarrhea, meaning touching somebody?
Millions a year.
3 million a year.
Yep.
And we've lost, 250,000? We go, oh, my God, we're flooding the hospitals. Get fucking real, people. Get fucking real. 60 million people a year die from various things. The coronavirus is the most insignificant of them. Trust me. So, no, it's not a staggering problem. It is no fucking problem. The press has made it a problem, and because they have made it a problem, government leaders have to go along. Now, the press goes, oh, this is a horrible problem. And we're all afraid and believe it. And Trump and all the leaders are doing jack shit. No, they're going to get voted out in November. So
but just wait till you see. I always tell people the worst of it's not even here yet. You have the data came in. You have 25% of small businesses that can't pay rent. The next 40% can only pay 50% of the rent. You now have upwards of 50% of small businesses and medium-sized businesses might be claiming bankruptcy. Yes. And for me, the detrimental effects of depression, of suicide, of divorce, of stress, it's going to be ridiculous in the next coming years.
No, that's not the real problem. The real problem is world starvation. Here's why. Listen, the world economy is a very fragile, delicate system. Something of this nature, which has never before happened, is going to collapse it. Now, when we have difficulty in America and Europe feeding our own citizens, do you think we're going to give a shit about the millions in Africa, India, and other places? No. And listen, 13 million every year die from starvation already. It's going to increase to 500 million people. Use your heads. Was it worth it? No, not by any measure, with the exception of, well, yes, it's worth it to the press, and sure as fuck worth it to governments to gain more power. But is it worth it to the people? No. And my heart goes out to those who have died from this virus, and many have, 250,000 in the world. But 60 million die every year. My heart goes out to all of those. Just because our heart goes out to people is not a reason to destroy the world.
I agree on the food supply chain. I've been looking at the data recently. And
oh, yeah, trust me.
Yeah.
We have time for one more question, my friend.
Let's leave it off at any final words for people.
Yeah. Please, use your own heads. When you hear something through the mainstream media, you must understand the likelihood of that being true in any real sense is zero. Now, it's going to be true in the sense that they're not going to outline lie and say 250,000 people died when only 3. No, that part's true. What's not true is what they should have said. Instead of saying 250,000 people are dying, it's staggering. They just said, listen, one person out of 100,000 is dying. And we go, well, why are you bothering to tell us that? That's the lie. It's not the fact. It's the way the fact is highlighted. And the media is a master at doing this. So everything, and you think they're only doing it for the coronavirus? No, for every single thing you hear. So when the mainstream media tells you something, you know that more than likely the fact is true. Let's say, some guy is suspicious of his wife having an affair anyway, and the neighbor wants to really screw the wife. Might go, you know what? The plumber was at your house again today. Listen, I don't want to cause any problems, but you're my friend. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe there's a problem, and the wife is dealing with all home situations, and the goddamn sink in the basement simply will not stop leaking. And yet, by saying it, listen, the plumber has been at your house, that handsome guy, the tall, young, handsome guy has been at your house twice this week. I wasn't going to tell you. Well, the way you tell it implies the action that he will take. You understand? Instead of going, God damn it, I have the same problem. I noticed Fred, that young new plumber has had to be fixing your sink twice. I mean, is he no good? I've had the same problem. He's been in my house 5 times and has not solved it. No, that's the truth, maybe. It's how you tell the truth. And the media is a master at telling the truth in a way that manipulates your thinking, your judgments, and ultimately your actions, people. I will leave you with that. And thank you so much.
John, always a pleasure, brother, man. Talk to you soon. Yeah, man. Cheers.
Bye-bye.